feels like this freeze has been going on for, I would say ever, but that'd be stupid because it doesn't seem that long. You cannot say it only seems like a couple of weeks ago when it was too hot and then say that this freeze feels like it's been going on forever, because it hasn't. It's been going on for about 4 days. Anyway, the question is, what do I do with myself at work whilst it's this cold? Because I have been going home early, I've been walking lots just to warm myself up. What can I do that's productive today? Well, I have to look at this again. Look at these ice crystals, the way they're forming, the way they're growing. It looks like a forest of ice on a gentleman's express. Although, this one is going nowhere. The question remains, what can I do on a day as cold as this? And the answer is, take the heater matrix out of this. I've got an idea. Why don't I remove the heater matrix out of Amy? Why don't I do that? I really enjoy doing that in this lovely cold weather. Remember, heat makes things warm, and although this car has no sunroof, at least it won't be wet. Ugh. That sounds good. Oh gosh, crunchy seats. If I'm going to remove this dashboard, I'm going to have to be prepared to get very, very cold. Or will it warm me up? First thing is I need to know what indeed? What tools do I need? Gosh, that's interesting. Look at that. Look at that sort of web thing. That sort of, it's like a, it looks really strange. It's just like a really thin cobweb that goes right the way across the glove box. How curious is that? Anyway, what I need is definitely a screwdriver and a 10mm socket, and an 8mm socket by the looks of it, and some carpet to cover up the wet bits with, and a box. Yard cart's obviously been about. That's good news. Some days just don't even get started. And whose fault is that? Well, yes, it's mine. It's my fault. I'm the one that hasn't got started with anything, and I cannot blame other people for turning up. And I'm not going to blame anybody, nobody at all. And I'm not going to blame you for not being interested. Why I've not been doing anything anyway. Can you see out? Can you? Well, I can, but only just. Actually, I can see a lot better than you realise. I can see perfectly well. Come on. There we go. Pass the junction nicely, and then turn around just here. Just here. Come on. Come on, quickly now. Let me out, and I can continue my journey up the road known as Kiln Lane. Until the day I won't be walking up of it, I'll just be driving up of it. That was a treat. And now, time again to wait to be left out. Oh, there we go. I was let out. Actually, I wasn't, I just let myself out. Earlier on today, I had myself a reasonably clear idea of what I was going to do today. And what I was going to do today was to remove a heater matrix from the Rover 216 to send to a man called Simon, who happens to live in Wales. But what happened? Too cold, then something happened. Oh yeah, I know what it was. I ended up on the phone, and then after I'd been on the phone, I ended up in Istanbul, where a kebab was consumed, paid for by Senior Mustard himself. And oh gosh, this screen wash is frozen. After the cup of tea was consumed and Senior Mustard went, then popped along. No! Then I spoke to a man called Boaty. Yeah, Mr. Boaty to you and to me, because that's what we call him. He's actually not really called Boaty. Anyway, it looks like something rather exciting is going to be going on quite soon with our collaboration, which was Mustard and Boaty do cars, but it's going to be different. You'll see. I can't want to spoil it. I never spoil the idea by telling you what his idea actually is about it. It's a very, very good idea indeed, and soon enough you'll know about it. Then I was on the phone to a chap called Ronnie, who's going to buy, yes, the Rover 800 that I have, the stricken Rover 800. He is going to buy it, and he's going to come and see it next week. And I've spoken to him a few times, and he seems like a proper, good, honest bloke. The kind of bloke that swears a lot. But, you know, the reason he swears a lot is because he's very angry at the world and how it's let everybody down. So I am fully expecting a visit from this chap and some sort of arrangement as to where that car's going to live. Because I've got the feeling he's going to buy it and then have to leave it with me. That's a familiar story, isn't it? One of these days, that yard should be filled with cars that are mine, not somebody else's. Oh, and then my friend Steve Berry called me up for a quick chat, but he ended by telling me I was boring. Now, I presume that that was a joke, but it might not have been. That's not a good place to leave your pickup, even if it is broken down. Ah yes, and a friend of mine, an old friend of mine, popped round with a Jaguar XF, an XF 3 litre twin turbo, and asked if I could fit the alternator. And yeah, I'm not really keen on that at all. There's an awful lot of parts that's got to come off of that to get to the alternator, never mind actually fit it as well. So as much as I'd like to take that job on, that's one of those for the proper mechanics. But when it's done, it may well just be the last test drive car of the year. I hope so, because I do fancy a drive, and that's a fabulous looking car. Oh look, you still can't see through the windscreen because it's still covered in salt, and my screen wash is obviously not that good to not be frozen. It's frozen. It won't come out the pipes. And it doesn't stop there, because there's another chap I know that desperately needed a tyre, a 17-inch tyre for his Mini Cooper that he's going to sell. And he came around and yeah, he's taken the tyre. But he didn't just take the tyre, he tried to fit it in the garage next door. Look at my face! Look how red that is! What's going on? Oh, that's better. Have you even noticed how these brake lights are so stupidly bright? They don't need to be as bright as that. They shouldn't be so bright that they light your face up. It could be confusing for people coming the other way. They can see brake lights on people's faces. Yeah, all of them, won't it? Red until my face explodes. Anyway, basically this chap couldn't quite get the tyre off of the old wheel because the machine next door isn't really up to the job as well as it should be. Had a chat with this chap, and that's basically the day over with. So this is it. I come to work, I speak to a man called Ronnie on the phone, I speak to a man called Steve on the phone, I speak to a man called Boaty on the phone, I eat some curry with Senior Mustard, and then I have a chap come around for a tyre and we have a bit of a chat, and that is the day complete. That's amazing. Amazing how quickly a day can go by and nothing actually get done. Let's hope we do better tomorrow. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm not walking tonight, there's a good reason for that. And that is my foot hurts. 25,000 steps yesterday is enough to make anyone's feet hurt. Then only one of them hurts, so that's not too bad, really. My name is Paul, and I run this channel, and I spend an awful lot of time and effort trying to make these videos as interesting, quirky and amusing as possible. So if you like them, please do subscribe and press that notification bell as well. If you want to support the channel further, you can do. There is a link in the description with my email where PayPal donations can be made, or pressing the super like thing, or becoming a channel member. There's so many things you could do. Oh yeah, and thanks.